Alright, hey guys, me again, you know who I am. And today, I'm going to show you the new beam rifle changes that went live on PC today. And as well as show you probably some of the more popular ones that most of you are probably worried about, like the Ignis and the Ignis Wraith, the Quanta Vandal, what is the Flux Rifle good now. And firstly, what they did is they removed status per second. So this just shoots status like any normal gun, and that makes beam weapons super strong right now. And some of them even have infinite ammo, and most of them, thanks to their new changes to ammo, are super duper ammo efficient. So first off, you probably noticed already that Ignis Wraith stream is very small. Its blast radius is smaller and doesn't hit through walls anymore. And heavy caliber no longer affects the blast radius. It doesn't give it an enormous blast radius. In fact, it doesn't even affect the accuracy at all anymore, as you can see there. But I don't know if you noticed this, but I'll show you how long it takes for me to empty the magazine right now. I have so much ammo in this gun thanks to the half ammo usage that it had, that it has now. And I'm still only halfway through this mag. I am still shooting this gun. I'm still going, and we're done. There we go. So that took a very long time, and that was a change that happened to most beam weapons. Now there is still like one or two guns that are still a little ammo inefficient, but those are mostly the secondaries. Like say Sentinel gammacor and the Embless still consume a lot of ammo, but Sentinel gammacor now does a fuck ton of damage, and I'll show you that in a minute. But so this is no longer a box cutter weapon, but however, that's not a nerf. What they've changed about it is that it actually does fucking damage now. Like, you can actually take this to high-end sorties and stuff and actually kill things. So I'm going to show you the new build. And a lot of these new beam weapons, you want to build for hybrid. Now, the increased crit chance and crit damage really helps this weapon. And of course, becomes hunting munitions viable, of course. Now, I'm going to test this on one of these guys. Just one. We're going to unpause the AI. And this is insane. And he is gone, and I didn't have to spend that much ammo on that one dude. That actually kills things now. So buff or nerf, it's really you decide, but that's a huge ass buff to his damage, thanks to status per second being gone. Now the Ignis, the regular Ignis, can do sort of the same thing. It's just not up to par with the Ignis Wraith, but it still does quite a bit of damage with the same build. Alright, so that will actually kill a level 150 heavy gunner now. That's good change, very good. Alright, let's get to some other beam weapons. First, a Flux Rifle. Probably wondering, is this good now? And yeah, and you want to build for hybrid, because even though the base crit chance is 10%, we have a fire rate of 12, so this is actually enough for us to justify putting a hybrid build on here. 25% is, with a 12 fire rate, that's totally feasible. And Flux Rifle now has infinite ammo that recharges like the Cyclone, and it charges really damn fast. Oh, recharging, and we're back. Goodbye. If you get a Riven with like magazine capacity and crit chance, crit damage, that would be super nice. I have a Riven on this bad boy that gives me crit chance and crit damage because I was trying to make this hunter munitions viable before, and I'm glad I did it. with a 7.6 times critical multiplier. Because it certainly helps the weapon out. Oh. Alright. Also, one thing I should mention before we get into the others is that beam weapons now have damage ramp up, but it's not the way I suggested it, where it ramps up past its normal damage. It does 10% of its base damage, but after like a 0.8 seconds, that's like split second, it will ramp up to its full damage, and that's when it really, really kicks out hurt. Alright. Now let's go to the Amperex. Like I said, most of these are going to be hybrid builds. And Amperex, as far as ammo consumption, much, much lower than it once was. Alright, it actually doesn't use that much ammo anymore. And it kicks out way more damage than it did before. Sure, the crit chance is lower, but that crit damage is higher, and the base damage is nearly 3 times of what it was. It was what? Originally it had a base of 7.5, but now it has 24 electric damage. Okay, and of course, there's the Synapse, which it no longer does base electric damage like the Amperex does. It has base corrosive damage, which means you can go corrosive viral or corrosive gas. Now, what I've tested, corrosive gas wins out. It beats corrosive viral. But you can do whatever you want, essentially. Alright? Most of you are going to be testing with corrosive viral anyways, so I thought I'd just show you what that looks like with the hybrid build. And here it is. And goodbye. Didn't even use my whole magazine. Alright, now let's get to the Quanta Vandal. And I think that's one of the last beam weapons I have, because I didn't really invest heavy into the beam weapons. Also, we'll get to the Convectrix later, because that's a monster now. That's dirty as hell. Now, I don't have a proper build on the Quanta Vandal, and I will now, thanks to the buffs. I'm going to be definitely using this weapon. But I don't have, missing the new multi-shot mod, which is Vigilante Armaments, and I'm missing 100 munitions, but it still kicks out damage really, really hard. Now, its ammo consumption got doubled, but not even a proper build. I think that's definitely worth it. That's 100% worth it. Now, let's get to the Convectrix before we get to the secondary ones. And I don't have a lot of them modded. Oh, and I'll get you the Glaxion too. And those are all the beam weapons I have. But the Convectrix is good now, mainly because the damage ramp up means that before I even hit the guy, my damage will ramp up to its full, and then I'll just hurt the dude with a hybrid build. And since it uses shotgun mods, I have primed crit damage on here. And goodbye. So this is a weapon you definitely want to use now. This is what a hybrid build looks like on shotguns. If you're wondering, and of course the Glaxion. Now, Glaxion we cannot build for hybrid, but if you have a Riven that gives you crit chance and crit damage, that's what I'd recommend. Now here's what I have. This is basically a status / damage build on it. And it does work. Even without a hybrid build. A lot of work, actually. And it crits every now and then, and it hurts really. It's really hard when it does crit. So, Glaxion is definitely a good weapon now. Alright, now let's get to the secondary ones. I don't have a lot of them. In fact, most of them are not even built. In fact, all of them I have are not even built, but probably wondering what the Saccharin's like. I'll get to that later, but first I'm going to show you Cyanoid gammacor. Now, I don't have a proper hybrid build for this, because that's what you want to build for now, because of the stats. But this is a status build, right? And even this not even a proper build, still kicks out a shitload of damage. Now, it still consumes a lot of ammo, but that's a fair trade-off for the amount of damage this weapon kicks out with just a status build alone. Look at that. That hurts people. Ouch. I can one clip a 150 heavy gunner. Now the Cyclone. Cyclone is actually a decent weapon now. Now it's got its base damage changed a little bit. Let me get rid of this. So it has base radiation as well as puncture and slash instead of heat, which is originally had, which I think that's a good change. All right. But it doesn't have that 5-second reload anymore. So I don't have to stick 2 reload mods on it to justify using. And here's Zero Forma. Is going to be a status build too, because you might get away with a hybrid build, but it's probably not enough. But you could probably stick some other status mods on there and that would work well. But, and you can see, and you want to know, charges really, really fast. Just like the Flux Rifle does now. So not as strong as the others, but still really, really damn powerful. Alright. I think I have the new core and the Emblist, but I don't have proper modding for the new core. And this is actually, Emblist right now is still garbage. Even though it got a status chance change, it can strip armor. It's still really bad. It even got its ammo consumption halved, but that's still a lot of ammo. And it's still just a bottle of fucking pepper spray. That's all this gun is still. And it's kind of unfortunate. Though you could probably pick up a Riven and that would probably fix that, but I'll show you what this is like. Also, beam weapons worth mentioning that I don't have is the Spectra. The Spectra is really good. In fact, the Spectra is much better than the Emblist right now, due to the way they changed that. And it shreds at first, but then once we get the armor off, it slows down. It's still much better than it once was. Much, much better, but it still uses too much ammo for me to call it usable. But it's up to you. It's not that choice is not mine. I'm personally not going to use it compared to the other ones, like the Cyclone and stuff, but it's up to you. Now, again, don't have a proper build for new core, though I do have this on here just to help the crit damage multiplier. And unless you have like a set of arcanes or a crit cat, this is really not going to matter to you at all. You can still do a status build, and it still works out pretty well. Now, I will show you what this is like with the Hero buff, just in case any of you guys were wondering. It does strip armor. There was the occasional crit there. Alright, now let's show you what the Hero buff is like. Alright. Alright, got enough damage now. I'm just gonna keep tanking, actually. I'm not gonna hit stun with my one because that increases headshot damage, but shreds like it should, because Hero buff is insane. Alright, so that's all the beam weapons I have. You guys might have some others, and they are probably pretty good with the removal of status per second, and thank God that's removed. But yeah, definitely worth using. I'd definitely recommend some beam weapons to new players now. Though curiously enough, some of the beam weapons aren't even available in the market if you want to purchase them for platinum. I've noted, like the Flux Rifle, but Flux Rifle's pretty strong compared to what it once was. So I'm okay with that. Anyway, guys, that's all from me. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.